Yep.
All right, welcome to the Fantasy Sports Wrap, episode 6.
6.
Yeah, 6. Michael Potter.
Darren Phillip.
And, man, a lot of movement this week, and I'm not happy about it.
No, I'm not either. I had my second straight losing week.
You've not had a lot of fortune this year.
No.
So far, but it's very early. That's
right.
The thing. It's very early. Let's go over standings real quick.
Yep.
As we are in week 2, we're taping this on a Tuesday. So just underway in week 2, and it was not a great start for me. It's a pretty good start for you, I think, if we look at them. But anyway, in the East, that's your division. Baracho Bandits,
Yep.
11 wins.
They just took care of me. 15 RBIs on Sunday for him. 15.
Yeah, that's crazy. Well, 11 from 2 guys.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Adam Jones and Cespedes.
Cespedes.
Cespedes had 6.
2 home runs, 6 RBIs.
Yeah, he had a grand slam, right?
Yeah.
That always hurts. So, Baracho 11-8-1 leading the East. Slammers 10-8-2 came down to earth a little bit. So, Dale, as we knew he would once he comes down to earth,
Make some
bunch of
trades.
trade offers out there. He's got one pending. Team Britain. I don't think we're mean to any team, but Team Britain, we always talk about the different kind of weird deals they make. They made some very suspect drops, but who are we to talk? They're beating both of us, so maybe that's working.
And they were on auto draft, so I'm thinking I might not show up for the draft next year. I'll just put it on auto draft and see what happens.
Is smarter than us. Moon Valley Racers 7-13.
Yep. I'm not disappointed with how I played last week. I mean, my team really.
You're not?
No, I'm not.
You should be.
12 home runs, 48 RBIs. I hit 272, which is all right. But Baracho
ran
just
to a buzzsaw.
Yeah, it was Buzzsaw of the week.
Buzzsaw of the week. Tillman
Yep.
Pride is in 5th place in the West. Phoenix Towers first. I'm not happy about that at all.
Yeah.
12-5-3. I play him this week, so it's on me. Right? Get back into it.
You kind of set it up by calling Tom the rookie.
He is.
Well, he's a rookie, I know, but you kind of harped on it a little bit, and I think it's.
Rookies get started fast, and then they kind of look around and go, well, what's happening here? They come back down to earth. So that's going to happen to Tom. Hopefully this week. I don't know, though. Toronto Mounties, 11-7-2 in second place. They beat me, and that was really my fault. And we'll talk about that in a minute. Bushwood Loopers, 10-9-1. Docs and Jocks, 9-8-3. Big week for them to get back to in the mix. And then Team Domorowski 7-11-2. So the West is really kind of tight. 12 wins is the highest and 7 is the lowest. In the East, 11-5. So Racers and Pride can't really put 2 or 3 back-to-back bad weeks together.
No.
So you got a big week.
This is a big week for me.
But let's talk about last week a little bit. You mentioned a little bit about yours. In week 1, we christened Dale Shustrel Slammers as the team of the week. And we didn't make it official, but we're officially saying they were the team of the week. Week 2, team of the week. I know I'm going to get texts on this from Docs and Jocks, but it's got to be Baracho Bandits. Yeah. And it pains me to say that, Ozzy.
Yeah.
It really does. But
he hit almost 300, and
good.
Like I said, 50 RBIs, 14 homers, 49 runs, 84 strikeouts. I got 3 of the 5 pitching categories, but he got the jump on me at the beginning of the week. And I have to say, I don't want to admit this, but I think I was a little out-coached at the beginning of the week.
Now, why do you say that?
Well, he really plowed into starters, and he got the edge. And granted, he basically handed me ERA and WHIP because he picked up some starters that just got hit pretty good. But
that's only 2 categories.
That's only 2. Right. But he did get the jump on strikeouts and wins.
The interesting thing about that strategy, though, is because what he did is he picked up a bunch of two-star guys. Right. So that's one thing for some of you new folks, which you're beating us, so I don't want to give you tips. But you have those 3 transactions, and you really have 4 if you haven't used one on that Saturday. You can look ahead and find out if a guy's starting Monday or Tuesday, he's going to get 2 starts. Wednesday, not so much, right?
No, Wednesday.
If he's starting Monday or Tuesday, he's going to start Monday, Tuesday, and then Saturday, Sunday. More than likely, let's have off days and things.
Right.
So you can pick up a 2-start guy, which is what he did.
He picked up a couple. He had 2, and he picked up 2 more. And so he was rolling a ton of guys out. Yeah, I see what you're saying. ERA and WHIP, I was able to hold on to that, even though I had a blow up on Sunday. But I don't like that because that's what I used to like to do to my opponent. No, just to hammer away at wins and strikeouts. Right. And I just felt under pressure all week as far as that was concerned. And I don't know, I was a little disappointed. Maybe because I picked up 1 or 2 of those guys. course, I did lose by 3 wins, but
the strategy worked out for him. I mean,
Yeah,
you
it did.
really are giving away the ERA and WHIP category more than likely if you do that, because a lot of these 2-star guys aren't going to be the top guys.
Right,
Okay.
right.
Sometimes they are, but if they are, they're not available. But having said that, Baracho's issue, and he's trying to address it through trades, is he doesn't have any closers really.
Right.
So you're definitely giving up. If you go for that route and don't have closers, you're giving up 3 categories. And I don't mind giving up 2 categories in each side.
Mm-hmm.
When you give up 3, you've got to really sweep the other side, but he pretty much did.
Right. Yeah.
Except for stolen bases.
Except for stolen bases. Yeah. I pounded him in saves and stolen bases, but I still ended up losing the week. So, but
yeah, and so that was, but that was a 6-4, right? I mean,
yeah. I mean, for as good as he played, you know, I mean, I really could have been looking at like a 2.8 or something like that.
Yeah.
If you know, if I would have dropped those other 2 pitching categories, but yeah, stolen bases and saves, I have no problems with that. But you know, those, especially steals, kind of come and go. You know, I've been offered a trade to maybe give up Altuve.
Yeah.
I hesitate to do it because the guy hits for great average, and my team, at least in the early going, isn't the best hitting team when it comes to average. So to have a guy that's hitting 300 plus is great. And, you know, the guy gives me steals. And so that's not a category I have to really worry about. I could use him to score some more runs for me than he has been, but hopefully that'll just come with the territory with him leading off.
well, and when you look at the standings page, you can look at the numbers down below there. I mean, everybody's numbers kind of stack up pretty well against everybody else's.
Yep.
You know, there's some glaring weaknesses in certain categories. Like you look at stolen bases. I have 5 stolen bases. Docs and Jocks has 5 stolen bases, and the leader's up at 19. So there's some glaring weaknesses for certain teams, but overall, there's no team that across the board isn't competitive.
Right.
So it really kind of matters who you play and what they do. I mean, if Pat doesn't get those 15 RBI on Sunday, what are you looking at, a 5-5 probably or something like that?
5-5. Yep.
You know, I'm playing this week. I'm playing Phoenix Tower, and you know, Tom jokingly kind of, you know, he was like, "Hey, bring it on." We're kind of talking back and forth, and he says, "Hey, I really don't have that good a team. I've just had good matchups." Which isn't true that he doesn't have a good team. He does. Everybody's got a pretty good team. But he's right. He's had significantly, you know, good matchups that led to that record. But you play who you got. And so I don't think anybody needs to totally panic. I think everybody's got a pretty good team.
I agree.
That's my opinion.
No, I agree. You just look at the numbers here, and it's you know, pretty even across the board. Boy, my average is horrible, though. Man alive. Yeah,
that's the one thing I've noticed with a lot of players. The big time guys, other than like Trout, Cabrera, even Goldie, but a lot of those big time guys that are hitting the home runs and RBIs, man, they're striking out a ton this year.
They are. There's a lot of strikeouts, a ton. So I don't know what you
batting
can do.
averages are. It seems like the pitchers are ahead of the hitters, but as I say that, there's been a lot of 10, 12-run ball games too. It's kind of weird. It's hard to really put your finger on, which makes it hard to make a decision about your team and switch kind of what you're doing. You pretty much, like you said with Altuve. I mean, is it really? Do you want to trade a guy like that this early in the season?
Yeah. Do I really want to make any kind of significant changes with my team? I don't think I can really do right now, you know, because if I get rid of him, unless I get someone in return that's going to replace him, I'm really creating a hole at second base for myself because I just don't have anybody that can fill in for him. So anyway, it's been an interesting couple weeks, and I've got Tillman Pride. He's below me in the standings this week. I'm hoping to, you know, get a winning week for a change.
The 2 bottom feeders.
Two bottom feeders are battling it out, for the basement honors.
Well, my matchup with Toronto Mounties, he beat me 6-3-1, and quite honestly, it should have been 5-4-1. I mean, I blew it. I was on the road Saturday night. I went to bed and I was like, Daniel Norris has a start on Sunday, and he's got Wainwright, and I was up 2-1 in wins, and I got greedy. I had ERA, I had WHIP, as long as one of my closers doesn't have a blow-up, which they ended up not. I was like, I should just bench Norris or cut him or get rid of him and just not try to win wins. Because Wainwright's going to get a win. I just knew he was. He's going to throw well. But I got greedy. Oh, maybe I can steal this category, which I would. And I pitched Norris. He blew up, ended up losing ERA and WHIP because of that, and then we tied in wins when Wainwright got the win. So I should have had those 2 categories. McKenzie said Sunday he could hardly watch because he was like, man, I got to have a lot of things fall right to win this. And they fell right for him. So good for him. They did. But we had a very tight matchup all the way through. And then I didn't hit the last day and he did. But that was a coaching decision right there where I was like, you know what? I overthought that too much. My gut was You said you were going for Sage area and whip. You got him locked. Just do it.
Yep. Well,
I got greedy.
And I fortunately had a big enough lead in ERA and whip because I threw a couple guys out there. I was only down a win. I thought, you know what? Maybe I'll get lucky. I'll snag a win. Because it was a matchup too.
Yep.
It was Quintana against Green for Detroit, and Quintana just got annihilated. Gave up 9 runs in 4 innings, and but fortunately I was able to hold on for that. And then wins he picked up. Pat ended up picking up. I got a win out of that matchup, but then he got 3 or 4 more.
Green's 3-0, right?
Yeah, he is.
You've gotten 2 of those wins, right? Or 1 of them?
Just 1.
Who told you about Green?
You did. Yeah.
Another one. I overthought it. My problem is I'm overthinking too much.
I think so.
My gut feeling the very first week when I was playing you was to grab Green for Detroit, and I'm like, I know he's going to win. I just knew he was going to win. But I'm like, can they sweep Minnesota? And I overthought it, and I picked up Avila instead. I've since dropped him.
Yep.
And I should have grabbed him. But anyway, I didn't. So anyway, Deron and I did not have great Sundays.
No.
To say the least.
No.
Moon Valley, or Docs and Jocks and Slammers. Look, we went into this saying good luck to Docs and Jocks. And they took it to Shuffsville, 7-2-1. They got the victory, and their pitching was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Starting pitching.
I know.
I mean, to get that many wins and have that ERA and whip.
9 wins, 79 strikeouts, 2.6 ERA, 1.16 whip. Yeah, I mean that was huge. And Dale didn't pitch that poorly. I mean his ERA and whip were not that bad.
Well, he would have beat me.
Yeah.
ERA and whip.
Yeah.
Well, and Docs and Jocks, I've talked to those guys, know them pretty well, and they've said some trade-offs and things. They're realizing, hey, we got a great starting staff. Man, maybe we can move a starter, or maybe we and try to get a closer, and then we could maybe they would have possibly swept that pitching. 5 wins there.
Yep.
So that's so hard for me because I'm coming out of that vein of starting pitching isn't important. But I'm seeing now where a lot of people have got a kind of a balanced attack here. It gives you a chance to win all 5 categories each week. Whereas I really only have a chance to win 3. I'm not going to win ERA and whip.
Right.
Or I'm not going to win wins and strikeouts.
Right. You're basically sacrificing those every week. And you might not win ERA and whip every week.
Right.
I mean, saves you're going to win. I mean, you just got too many closers. I got a lot of closers too. I could use some starting pitching help. So this is my.
Well, yeah, you had 9 saves last week. I had 12. So Deron might be ready to start trading some closers for some other things.
Yeah.
I'm still going to hold on to not doing that. Yeah. But in a couple weeks I might.
Do you want more of my closers? I mean, to really just stack your team?
Yeah.
You do.
Yeah. I want from your team. I want Stanton and Soria.
Okay.
I'll give you Dexter Fowler.
Moving right along.
Tillman Pride, 2nd losing week in a row. Team Britain, 6-4-0 with the victory.
Yeah, we talked about Britain earlier. I just the auto draft team. They've dropped Cargo earlier in the year, dropped Brantley, and
they both had good ERA and whips too.
Yeah, they did. And here they are sitting ahead of me in the standing. So
yeah.
What else can you say?
Well, look. I think I have been overthinking. I think you overthink things sometimes. I don't think the Britons overthink stuff. I think they're just like, I don't want that guy. They drop him and they move on.
That's right.
And it's worked out for them.
It has. It has. Very much so.
Kudos to them, But yeah, they both, if you look at their numbers, they weren't crazy offensive numbers other than their batting average was really high. The Britons, 286, 9. But, man, their ERA and whip. But they're a team that doesn't have any closers, really. I don't think they have any. They didn't get any saves, but I don't think they have any closers. So that might be a category. They might be up for a trade if you're out there and you got a couple of closers. But I think Deron and I have almost all the closers. And then Phoenix Tower, 6-3-1 over Team Domorowski to get the lead. And, 27 runs, 8 homers, 13 RBI. Like Tom said, it wasn't a great offensive outburst, but it was enough to win one category. And
he swept pitching, which is big. Yeah, but not by much as far as wins and saves. You only had 1 more in each category. ERA was close, basically separated by a run.
But oddly enough, their ERA and whip, Tom had, there are 10 teams, Tom had the 9th highest ERA and whip, and Domorowski had the 10th highest ERA and whip. So neither of those guys would have beat anybody else with that ERA and whip, which is kind of funny.
Yeah.
And their 4 wins wouldn't have beat many people, and the 2 saves wouldn't have beat many people. No. So it was just a perfect matchup, and their guys didn't perform.
Yep, and that's just sometimes what happens. Your guys don't perform, and your opponent overperforms, and that's kind of what happened to me in that last week. So, Anyway, so we're moving on to you ready to move on to this week's matchup?
Yes.
See what's going on.
Yeah, I'm playing the newbie, and he's beating me 5-0-5, so I don't want to talk about it. Who are you talking? Who you playing?
I'm playing Tillman Pride, and
it's a big series for you.
It's big. Yeah, I need to distance myself from the bottom there, and he needs to turn it around. Yeah,
you guys can't do like a 5-5 or 4.
No, there can't be that
2.
going on.
I mean, if there is, that's what everybody at top of the leaderboard wants from you guys is to kind of stay mediocre down there with about 8-9 wins if they get up to 15-16.
Beat up on each other. You just have just regular mediocre weeks, like you said. But I'm up 7-2-1. It's very early. We just had one day, but
gosh, you guys aren't hitting either.
111 I hit yesterday.
And you're hanging on to Altuve because he's got a good average.
Yeah. He went 0 for 4, but he'll come back around. My guys are going to hit this week.
He should go 3 for 4.
Yeah, exactly.
2 for 4, something like that. 2 for 5.
So pitching, man, I had one closer get blown up. That guy on Cleveland.
Allen?
I'm blanking on his name. Cody Allen.
Yeah, blank on his name.
Yeah. He might be waiver bound here soon.
Yeah, this is what fantasy sports does to you. I'm watching Cody Allen get blown up against the White Sox, right?
Right.
He had a 3-0 lead going in, easy close, right? Maybe he gives up a run, maybe gets the bases loaded with 1 out, and Melky Cabrera's up. And I think Mounties has Melky Cabrera. I've got Abreu on deck, and I'm thinking, please, it gets tight. I'm thinking, strike the guy out so my guy can come up and get a base hit, knock it around, or a grand slam or something. Cabrera gets the base knock, and so your guy gets torched 4 runs in 2/3 of an inning, or a third of an inning.
Yep.
And my guy's on deck, slapping high fives.
Yeah. I'm a Sox fan, but I want to save from Allen in that situation. I don't want to get blown up.
It was kind of too late. Yeah, once it went that far, then it's like, hey, I
might
as well root for my team to win.
That's right.
Well, yeah, I mean, I was driving home from New Mexico, listening to Wainwright, and he gets the bases loaded against him in the 8th inning on Sunday night, the last game. And I'm sitting there thinking, man, if somebody comes up and hits a home run off him, that might be enough to move. His whip was slowly moving up that inning.
Mm-hmm.
I can for sure get whip. I might even get ERA back. And he walks a guy, and the next guy up, the shortstop sitting, swings at the first pitch. Stop it. Unless you get a fastball dead red, quit doing that.
Yeah.
He gets out of the inning. I'm thinking he's not coming back for the 9th. John Jay leads off with a double. They get him to 3rd on a ground ball to 3rd. And then they score him with my guy on deck again.
Yep.
With Hayward. And then he gets the win.
Unreal.
I was out. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
So it does change how you look at the game.
Oh, it totally does. But it's fun. I still like it. Yeah.
So it's so early. Docs and Jocks Team Domorowski, that's a big one. And Docs and Jocks came back to earth on Monday. They're down 6-1-3. It's a big one for Team Domorowski to get back in the winning ways.
Slammers had a big first day. Hey, 2 home runs, 8 runs, 9 RBIs, hitting 305.
Those RBIs are tough to. I mean, up 6 runs and 7 RBI. I mean, you could do it, but you need your opponent to have an off day.
Oh, it can be done, believe me, with the RBIs, because I know from experience. Last week I had about a 7 or 8 RBI lead on a couple different occasions, and Pat just wiped that out quickly.
And this is a great one we're looking at, too. The Mounties at the Baracho Bandits.
Yeah.
I mean, 2 guys are very high atop. I mean, Baracho leading the East, and the Mounties, I believe, in second place in the West.
Very similar records. Bandits 11-8-1. Mounties are 11-7-2.
And look at Baracho's ERA on the first day after what he did to you.
Yeah.
He's an 11.25. Who got blown up for him yesterday?
The guy Shoemaker on the Angels.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he got beat up pretty good. That's his second. He got beat up when he played me too.
He picked him up for you, right? Because
he did.
He had
2 starts.
2 starts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we've seen a lot of people. I've seen a lot more trades flying around.
Offers and
yeah. I knew Shuff was going to do that kind of stuff. We've seen a lot of trades though.
Well, he's got one out there right now.
Yep.
With
Baracho.
With Bandits. Yeah.
What do you think of that deal? Baracho sending a starter Strasburg, and Dale sending Chapman a closer.
I think it's a fair deal. I mean,
they're both top line guys.
Yeah, and you're looking for someone. The Bandits needs a closer.
Yep.
He only has, I think, Gregerson on Houston. He needs another closer. Gregerson, he's kind of their. And he got a save last night.
He got a save last night, yeah. An inning. Well, he walked against her, yeah.
Yeah. And Dale's got, he's got a little overabundance of closers. He picked up the Colorado guy recently, who's supposed to be a very, very good closer.
He picked up 2 guys I was looking at. I almost used my last transaction on the closer for the Rockies, and I almost used it on Kendry Morales.
Yeah, I was looking
And then
at
the
him
week
too.
before, I wanted DJ LeMahieu for the Colorado, but I just didn't pull the trigger.
Yep.
And Dale picked up all three of those guys.
Stephen, is it Vogt? Is that his
Vogt,
name?
Vogt, yeah.
I was looking at him too.
Catcher for.
I was looking at him and Morales, and Dale grabbed both of them shortly after the transactions turned over on Sunday. I mean, I think they were. He's burned 2 of his transactions, but
did they turn over like when did they turn over?
I think they turn
like
over after
first thing in the morning or when it locks.
I think
it's
when
they're
out,
right?
when the game's locked. Yeah.
And he must have been like in his pajamas sipping coffee. Because I got up and I did some stuff and got ready to go to the ball game. I looked and I was like, "Holy cow! He's already made some transactions."
Well, he's throwing a party now. Did you see Morales last night? I think a couple hits and a couple RBIs.
Yeah.
Vogt with a 3-run homer, and I'm just like going, man, a lot. And I'm clowning around with Pilar on Toronto last week, and he didn't do much, and just a couple pickups where I could have picked up at least one of those guys, but I didn't do it. I went in a different direction and did not benefit from it.
A couple of things as we get ready to close out here. One thing that's been huge, and I've been getting calls and emails on it a lot, is there's been a lot of hurt guys. We talked about before. A lot of guys on the DL. Joe Nathan now might not come off of the DL in time. Verlander now is getting pushed back on the DL. Gomez is on the DL. I'm not sure how many of you guys got. And there's a ton of DTD, day-to-day guys.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the hardest because if you have an early game that locks your lineup, I don't know if Upton's going to play or not, later on. Or if what happened last night is he played in Colorado. I'm going to play him because he's in Colorado. And they crush left-handed pitchers in Colorado. But after they get a 10-1 lead, they pull him out of the game in like the 5th inning.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy who comes in to replace him, home run.
Yeah.
So that's making it difficult, that day-to-day and that DL. I've got 2 guys on, one guy on DL and one guy, Gomez, just sitting on my bench in the DL slot.
Well, that's where you need to really go to the local newspapers to find out about a particular player. I got Ben Zobrist. He banged up his knee. I just was reading this morning that he's probably going to be out at least 2 games. They might even do an MRI and possibly have minor surgery on the knee. So, but that helps me because now he's out of there, and I'm going to put in a replacement for him. So I know that Zobrist is going to be.
Did you drop
him? Did I drop him?
Yeah.
No. My transactions are done for this week, so I'm not dropping anybody.
But he might go. If he gets cut on, that's going to be at least 15-day DL, right? Even if it's just a minor.
Probably,
scope,
I'm guessing
maybe
so.
even longer.
Yeah.
We'll ask to have Docs and Jocks on that when we find out
get some information from him.
One other little trick that maybe you don't know about, you have 3 bench slots, right?
Yep.
You can put as many guys on the bench as you want.
You can.
You just can't have, 50 guys on your team. Like right now, I dropped Norris just out of anger, and I picked up Dexter Fowler, leadoff guy for the Cubbies, because now that Bryant's up and he's like the new messiah in baseball, but he did have 3 RBIs last night.
Mm-hmm.
I think he is going to be good, and Tom Brown's got him, of course. So I picked him up. So I've got 4 guys on my bench now, and I just have an open pitching slot. I thought I had to move somebody in there, so I was going to put Nathan in there, but I guess you're locked on the DL once you put him on there until the guy comes off.
So
right?
you can't flip flop Gomez and Nathan.
I don't think so. If anybody knows how to do it, I tried. I looked around a little bit. I didn't look a long time, but I tried to. I think all you can do with Nathan once a guy's on the DL is drop him.
Really? No.
Yeah, I mean, when I had that transaction, like.
You got to be able to move him in your lineup.
I can't, man. I'm telling you. Look, so here. We'll do a little thing. I got it on the iPad.
Go to your managed DL.
See, I didn't do that. Where, managed DL?
Yeah. You got to be able to swap these guys.
Oh, you can't. So activate? Okay.
Activate him, and then put your other guy in the DL. Gomez.
Activate. Yeah. Submit.
Wait a minute. Yeah. Should be.
Well, I can't drop Gomez. He's undroppable.
Refresh it. Let's see what happens.
Okay, let me look at my team. This is exciting stuff.
Isn't it great?
Right?
Yeah, we're
I was trying to do
taking
it
up all your time here.
Oh, yeah, I got Gomez on a DL, and I got Nathan on the bench, and I can move him into my pitching slot there.
So you got to go to the managed DL. When you have players on the DL, go to managed DL, which is a little link.
There's a genius.
Up at the top of your team page.
Do that too.
And maybe you're the only one that didn't know, I think. Everyone knew. They're all going.
I talked to McKenzie this morning. I don't think he knew either. He might have known and not told me. Who knows?
Yeah.
But
anyway. So that's, but yeah, like you said, you can have as many players on the bench. Last week I did. I didn't have a catcher. So obviously I had an extra player on my bench. But, you don't have to have a roster spot filled if you don't want to. Not smart. It ended up burning me.
Should we tell them why you might want to put a bunch of guys on your bench one day? Or should we just let them?
Yeah, I guess we can.
One strategy is if you come into Saturday or Sunday and you've got basically ERA, WHIP, wins, if you've got some categories, pitchers especially, taken care of, and you don't want somebody to blow it up, you can put your entire pitching staff on the bench.
Yeah.
And have no pitchers go that day.
Right.
I think it's okay. I mean, when you thought about doing it one day and you're like, is that Bush? Is that? I don't think it is. I think it's legal.
Yeah, you can do it. So.
Yeah, I mean, I guess in real baseball you have to have somebody throw, but this isn't real baseball. It's fantasy baseball.
Right.
So you can do that.
Mm-hmm.
Like I could have that day when I really felt like I had saves locked up, and I could have put every pitcher on the bench that day and just rode it, and he would have had to come underneath my ERA and WHIP, and I probably should have. I would have won.
Yeah.
So you can do that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess you can do it with your hitters too. If one day you're like, I got up so big I don't want to kill my average, that'd be kind of dumb to do. But your pitchers is where you might do
chances are that the hitting you wouldn't want to do that because you're going to lose production as far as your runs, homers, and RBIs and steals. So, but yeah, that is
if you've got a real close thing and you're thinking, hey, I don't want my closer to come in and get blown up and throw an 18 spot ERA on there, you can just stick all your closers on the bench that day.
Yeah.
If you've already lost saves.
Yep.
So that is one little trick to the trade. So anyway, hey, check it out on YouTube. Send this thing around. We want to get this out to as many people as possible. We did kind of a tweener between
on Friday.
Yeah, Friday night. It took forever to upload. I was at the hotel though, so we didn't get out till Saturday evening. I don't think. A little split screen jobber, but I think maybe next week we should probably have.
Try to get a guest.
Yeah. Maybe try to Skype somebody in. We figure out how to do it and record it and everything.
Let us know if you like to be a guest on the show. If you've got the capability, if you have a camera that you've got on your computer, we can Skype you in.
I can't believe how old your computer is.
Isn't that great?
Darren had to go and buy a camera to put on his computer. I'm like, you got to have a camera in your computer, don't you?
No, I don't.
He's so old. He had to buy one to put on there.
It worked though.
Most people have laptops, like we're doing on the MacBook.
Yeah,
right here.
I got the old traditional tower. You know.
But what it costs you $30 for the camera?
Yeah,
it's a great little camera. Yeah, they're very inexpensive. You just plug them in and play them. And you just have to have, you can even use your external mics and stuff. So anyway, we'll try to do that. And anything else, Darren?
No. Good luck to you this week.
Good luck to you as well.
Let's get back on the winning track.
Yeah, we need to. It's really embarrassing when you put a league together and you're not atop the league.
Yeah, and you're doing a show and the whole thing, and
you can click projected playoff, and we're not in that projected playoff.
I'm
very unhappy.
Yeah.
All right, thanks for listening, guys. Have a great week, and we'll talk to you later on in the week.
See you next time.